First of all, congratulations to the movie.
Oh,
It's
thanks.
a milestone. Unbelievable.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. That's great. Did you see it today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And the 3D was okay? Didn't...
It was perfect.
yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
When you wrote that story, what was your motivation or what was your vision?
Well, I've been a science fiction and a fantasy fan my whole life. So, I finally wanted to make a movie where I could use all these visual ideas that I'd had percolating for years. But I also wanted to tell a story that was about, where we're going as a human species. What our relationship with nature is, and how we don't respect nature, and how we tend to destroy it, and what the end result of that process will be. And in Avatar, you never see planet Earth. It's completely off camera, but it's a presence in the back of our mind. And when Jake says that the Earth, he calls it the dying world. So what we're saying is 150 years from now, we haven't solved these problems yet. And so now we're going to continue with our same patterns on a new world, on the world of Pandora. So it's a way of using the future to look back at the past, when Europeans first came to North America, South America, the way they behaved then. We would do the same thing tomorrow if we could do it on another planet. Let's face it. So it's really about us having to change. And it's not really talking about what we would do in the future on another planet. It's talking about what we have to do in the immediate future on our planet. And so I was thinking about these things back in 95 when I first wrote this. And I think now we see in 2009, after the scientific community has definitively proven that global climate change is happening, and we have to do something about it. That was all just conjectural. Nobody was really even talking about that back in 95. Even Al Gore wasn't talking about it back in 95. So I think the film is even more timely today than it was when I wrote it.
Okay, absolutely. You come up with some amazing technical new stuff making a movie. What was the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge was to make the characters are going to be done with computer generated techniques, to make them feel real. Now, I don't know if we achieved photoreality, whatever that is, but I do think we've achieved character reality. I think when you watch the movie, Neytiri is a real person. Even though she's an alien, I think she's a real person. I think that the performance that Zoe Saldana gave to the movie is exactly preserved in her CG character. And I think the same thing with Sam Worthington's, Avatar character, Sigourney Weaver's Avatar, and the other characters, amongst the Na'vi clan. I think they're real. I think they're real people, and that was our biggest challenge, and that's what took so long to do, because it hadn't been done before. We'd seen examples of performance capture that were intriguing visually, but there was something missing, from the face.
Okay. Here comes a funny one. When you shoot Titanic, you said, I don't need any payment as a director because of the high budget. It wasn't necessarily this time, right?
Well, I did have to make some sacrifices. There was, I had to make some sacrifices to get the film greenlit. And if the film is financially successful, that won't be an issue. But look, for me, this process of making these movies is not about the money. I like to make some money, but it's not my motivation. My motivation is to get to create these beautiful images, do this exciting these exciting new things. For me, it's a kind of intellectual challenge.
What is your main message?
Well, I think I think the purpose of Avatar primarily is entertainment, and I want to be clear about that. It's an adventure film, it's an action film, it's a love story, it's an emotional journey. But within that, I think there are certain themes and messages. And one of the themes of the film, the film begins and ends with the character's eyes opening. It's about perceiving differently, looking at another culture through their eyes, understanding the other person better, and how this interrelates with this idea of aggression and warfare and how if we just understood the other culture better, we could find a solution that wasn't a solution of war. And I think that the other sort of main theme, obviously, is about nature and our human relationship with nature.
Two questions left. There is a former working colleague of mine in your movie called Simone Bargetz.
Simone on the horse.
Yeah.
She was a stunt girl on the horses. Yeah. Sure, Simone. She's a very good rider.
Okay. How was working with her?
Yeah, Simone was great. I mean, she was one of our stunt riders, and of course, we not only did performance capture with people, we did performance capture with horses as well. All the other creatures are animated, keyframe animated, but the horses actually we captured motion. So yeah, Simone did some great riding, jumping, fast turns. We did so there's a whole horse battle scene in the film toward the end, and we had horses galloping through our capture environment. Yeah, no, she was great. Okay. She's Swiss, I think, isn't she?
She's Liechtenstein.
Oh, Liechtenstein, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
We're neighbors, so.
Yeah.
Okay. But we work on the same TV station. So
no kidding. All right, well, tell her hi for me next time you see her.
Okay. Last question. My show takes place between the news and the weather forecast. So that's why my last question is always about the weather. What has weather any impact to you as a movie maker because of the shooting or the box office or what is it?
That's really interesting. I'll tell you where weather has been a big impact to me as a filmmaker was making these documentary films at sea. We might be 800 or 1,000 miles offshore and a hurricane would be coming, and we're down in a submersible and we come back to the surface. It was nice when we dove, and when we came back to the surface 18 hours later, we're in a 20-foot sea, and they had to try to recover us from the ocean. And there was one case where the recovery rope kept breaking, and we were in these high seas in the submersible for about 2 hours. I thought I was going to die. It was the worst day of my life. Okay. It was because of the weather.
Okay. Could you say to our audience, today is the perfect movie weather, have fun with Avatar or something like that, direct to the camera?
Well, I don't know if it's going to be raining or shining, but it's always perfect weather to go see Avatar.
Thank you so much.